Hello esports fans, I'm Richard Lewis and welcome to ELEAGUE Weekly. This week we welcomed in 4 new teams. Let's take a closer look at them. Let's start with taking a look at this up-and-coming NA team. The team that were added last minute after Tyler were unable to meet their visa commitments. Why don't you tell us about these guys?
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about a true David in this matchup. Connor, Mitch, Nifty, all very new to the Counter-Strike scene. Relics mainline, the last 2 vestiges of the original roster that made it to the professional level. But it's Nifty that we're going to talk about because he is the player who has come out and just seemed like he's leaps and bounds ahead of his player in terms of potential, in terms of what he can bring. Former COD pro, switched over to Counter-Strike, so he's seen the light. He's now come to us. He's now come to compete here. And he showed some good things. It's just, you know, this is a team that is still progressing, still putting themselves together. They don't really know where they want to go, just have a new 5th for this exact tournament. So things are going to be a little bit shaky, which just puts more and more on his shoulders.
Obviously, we've got G2 Esports at the other side of this coin. They are just incredible right now, on a tear, played one of the best series of 2016 just recently against Luminosity. Tell us about these guys.
These guys are amazing right now. They're playing some of the best Counter-Strike they have ever played as a group. They brought a new guy named Body in here, he's good, but the key to this team is shocks. Me and Moses were having a conversation last week about how finally the world gets to see what we've been talking about for years, that this is one of the best players in the world. And
yeah, it's about time, because we've always mentioned if you haven't watched Counter-Strike in a year or two, you will have never seen the phase of dominant shocks. And now we're starting to see that paired up with Scream as well. Both of these guys have just been on a tear lately.
They're arguably the best duo in the game.
Oh, here's what's really funny though. Now, I've been a critic of Scream for the longest period of time. I was a critic of G2 for the longest period of time. Everybody seemed to think that the one good thing they had was their in-game leader existence. He goes, and everyone's like, well, that's that. And all of a sudden, they hit this new level. That's the Ninjas in Pajamas that are competing here today.
These guys are all fixtures of Counter-Strike Global Offensive, but not only that, GetRight and Forrest, 2 of the best players to ever played 1.6. This is GetRight. I mean, this guy is just a monster. He's probably one of the most diverse talents in the game, in the sense that he can be an aggressive lurker, he can be an entry fragger, he can do pretty much everything. And the way he does it by outsmarting his opponents. The mind games of this guy are unreal. So many players have talked about how he's one of the most difficult players to play against because you just can never have a good read on what he's going to do. He's one of those guys who studies the games, he knows all the different ways to play his portions of the map, and he's been so effective for so long. Even when you know what he's gonna do, like, you sometimes just can't stop it.
He's insane. He's been this way forever. People know him as the legend in the game. He still is considered one of the best players out of Sweden, or in the world for that matter. Optic, basically, the main thing with them is they replaced their Opper, Shazam, with this player, Mixwell, relatively unknown from Spain, but he has quickly become the best player on the team. And so far, to me, this team is actually better now with him because he does more than just op. He can do everything, but they rely so much on him. At the beginning, when he first moved to this team, he really kind of carried, as you can see here. He was the main reason they won, but just recently they had some success at the minor because he was able to actually get help from Rush and others now who have not been known to step up in the past. But I really am excited to see this guy play against some of the best teams in the world right now, especially Nip, who don't really have an Opper to battle him.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a big test for Mixwell and all of Optic, and I think you nailed it. It's not just Mixwell coming in, but whatever he's done, we've seen Rush kind of step up. We've seen guys like Nap have some big games here and there, and that's the thing. They need that supporting cast.
The first match of Week 2 pitted Ninjas in Pajamas versus Optic Gaming. In the first map of the match, Cobblestone, NIP quickly revealed why they are a top Counter-Strike squad by aggressively attacking Optic Gaming and keeping them in a defensive stance.
Forrest clean with the sniper shot there. And GetRight in the corner, trigger control, gets 1 and 2. Oh my god, NIP.
The final score was NIP 16, Optic Gaming 4. The second map of the match was Train. GetRight and Forrest, the top 2 players on NIP, helped their squad take a commanding 15-5 lead. Then, Optic Gaming rattled off 5 straight round wins before finally succumbing to the Swedish invaders. The final tally, Ninjas in Pajamas 16, Optic Gaming 10. The second match of day 1 was G2 Esports versus Selfless. Selfless was not expected to be very competitive during Week 2, but on their first map, Cash, they quickly proved they were a squad to be reckoned with. The young North Americans showed they were more than just competitive, but in the 16th round of the map, Shock scored a rare ace for G2.
down Shocks. Oh my God, Shoxy gonna be picking up one more headshot. I can't believe it. He's looking for the ace here, all on his own. Connor on the other side. Shoxy, are you kidding me? That's gonna be the ace in the round. Unreal play.
Selfless had a late surge to make the final score close, but it was G2 that won 16-12. On to the second map of the match, which was set on cobblestone. Relics and Nifty led the way, charging out strong and helping Selfless win the first 5 rounds. Eventually though, the French squad G2 Esports battled back and won their second straight map by an identical scoreline of 16-12.
My nickname is Get Right. I'm playing for Ninjas in Pajamas.
Get Right. Oh, he gets all 3 kills. Looking for one to go. That's the ace. Get Right. Shutting it down.
I'm from Stockholm, in a little city called Spånga. Our biggest rivals right now is probably Fnatic, who are Swedish comrades. I think Swedes are so good on Counter-Strike because we have long winters.
The Swedes have always had either the best team or one of the best Counter-Strike teams in the world.
Get Right wasn't just the best lurker, he was the best player in the entire game.
Get Right getting one. Oh, headshot.
Get Right brings a lot of passion to the game and he's super dedicated to winning.
They gave me the most difficult task and I feel 100% confident to win those clutches to win the game.
He encouraged all other in the team to really perform to 100% each and every single game.
One role model I had before when I was younger was Hedon, which is one of my best friends and also the creator of NIP. When I'm in a really big, intense game, I actually feel really, really nervous. You have to just take a big breath and just relax and close your eye for that millisecond and just be prepared for the battles that come up for you.
The third match of day 1 was the Premier matchup, pitting Sweden's powerhouse Ninjas in Pajamas against the French-Belgian squad of G2 Esports. G2 surprised everyone with a dominating, calculated performance, keeping NIP off balance and confused as the bullets started to fly. The final score, G2 16, NIP 9. In the second map of the match, Dust 2, Ninjas in Pajamas started strong, winning the first 4 rounds.
There's the 1, 2 seconds left. Freiburg, he's holding it down in RPK. 1 second too late. NIP gonna win the round.
G2 responded by winning 15 of the next 17 rounds to take a 15-6 lead. But NIP refused to go quietly into that night. They rallied for another 6 straight rounds before G2 put the final nail in their coffin. G2 16, NIP 12 for a 2-0 series win.
Winning Vegas was really exciting because it was our first event under the Optic Gaming brand.
Optic, they've made it through.
What a success.
It was a load off our shoulders knowing that we qualified for the E-League because we know how big this is.
This is obviously a fantastic start for them if they can qualify for the E-League right away.
One of the main changes we made was replacing Shazam with Mixwell.
I've been picked up 2 months ago. I moved to Canada, to Dab's house.
I did some scouting and we knew that he was really, really talented.
They scouted me, they watched my games, they liked the way I played.
So far, he's made a huge impact in our team. He's one of the main reasons why we've had so much success.
I'm enjoying it so far, it's amazing.
G2 Esports entered day 2 of competition with a perfect 4-0 record. Their last opponent of the round-robin tournament was Optic Gaming, who were still looking for their first victory in E-League. The first map of day 2 was Train, and G2 wasted no time, racking up 6 consecutive round wins before Optic finally broke their streak. At half-time, things were looking rather bleak for the North American squad, who were trailing 11-4, but Optic refused to retreat, battling all the way back to take a 13-12 lead. In the end though, G2 were just too disciplined. They took 4 out of the last 5 to escape with a 16-14 win.
It sucks, no scope, point blank. will take the final kill of this map.
Then on the second map of the match, Nuke, G2 displayed their precision and diversity. The French squad looked at ease maneuvering through the seldom used Nuke map, while it was clear that Optic Gaming was simply out of their elements. G2 rolled to victory 16-4 and captured the #1 seed for tomorrow's semi-final tournament.
Down and rush in the vents, trying to get out, and that's not going to happen. RPK will kill him.
I'm Richard Lewis reporting for ELEAGUE, and I've got one of the players that are going to be in this week's games. It is Nifty from Team Selfless. First of all, you're one of the few players that have transitioned from Call of Duty and console Call of Duty, more importantly, to now playing an FPS on the PC, Counter-Strike. So tell us a little bit about your history in Call of Duty.
I started competitive Call of Duty around Black Ops 2, towards the end of Modern Warfare 3. I played a lot. Like, my life consisted of going to school, coming home, playing Call of Duty until I went to bed. Started getting on some teams, eventually attended my first LAN event. And as the years went on, Call of Duty's changed from year to year, so it just became a little stale. I kind of lost my love for it.
So what made you choose Counter-Strike?
Believe it or not, while I was still playing COD, I had been playing Counter-Strike just casually with friends. I can see how much time it could actually take to become like a professional player, right? I left COD, I hung it up and decided to move over, and I've just been going hard ever since.
What's it like moving from playing with a controller to playing with a mouse and keyboard? I know there's a lot of debate back and forth between the two communities about which requires more skill.
The transition from COD to CS, it took me a few months. I'm not gonna lie, like I was really, really bad. I get on every day, and it was just, I felt like I was holding foreign objects.
You might not appreciate this next question, so I apologize in advance. But you may remember a tweet you made back when you were still kind of an established Call of Duty player, where you were criticizing players, choking at events and capitulating. And obviously you've moved over now to playing Counter-Strike, and of course you've had some events where it hasn't gone quite so well for your team. So how do you feel about that?
Those tweets were definitely a little condescending. I won't lie. Didn't really think about it before I tweeted it, I'll be honest.
So it's a lot tougher than it looks to...
Yeah, it is. And I actually tweeted after the minor, I have gained quite a bit of respect for the top players. I apologize to specifically Shazam. I already have, but I'll do it again, so.
I know a lot of people have been saying that Selfless don't deserve to be in ELEAGUE. What have you got to say about it?
All I have to say is, we're here to do our best, and we look forward to proving as many people wrong as possible.
The second match of Day 2 saw Ninjas in Pajamas take on Selfless. Didn't look good for the upstart North American squad. Once again, though, they proved to be tough competitors, taking a 5-3 lead and staying close for most of the game. After Selfless tied the score at 9, NIP finally dispensed of their troublesome opponent, winning 7 straight rounds to close out the map at 16-9. For the second map of the series, Selfless chose Cash, and they appeared more confident on this map, executing their strategies and eliminating their opposition. NIP and Selfless battled round after round, neither side getting a clear tactical advantage. After 26 rounds, Selfless were only trailing by 2 to the mighty Swedes, but NIP showed why they are considered one of Counter-Strike's elite teams. They took the final 2 rounds and closed out the game 16-12.
And now he's in position to deal with A main, having reloaded, gonna find one. No, that's Exist, robs him, but Pyth is a murderer. Quad kill.
Forrest was the top marksman, recording 25 kills. With the victory, NIP finished with a 4-2 record, as well as the second seed for tomorrow's semi-final. The final competition of Day 2 saw a matchup between the 2 North American squads, Selfless and Optic Gaming. In the opening round, Optic's newest member, Mixwell, recorded only the second ace in ELEAGUE's brief 2-week history.
He's still running, he hasn't really stopped. Oh, what? Inhuman round coming out of him right here, and he's gonna get it as well. The ace clutch for Optic.
Optic won the first 11 rounds before Selfless finally saved themselves from a complete shutout, but the rout was on.
Mitch and Relic's definitely fighting back, but not gonna be a bomb plant. Mixwell's still alive, and one bullet is gonna end it. It's a headshot.
Optic Gaming 16, Selfless 1. In the last map of day 2, set on Mirage, Selfless rebounded from their embarrassing loss with a strong start, building a 6-1 lead, including a quad kill by their top player in the tournament, Relics.
3 and Relics takes 1, then 2. Turns around with the USP looking for the shot, and he's gonna get it, Relics.
Relics with a quad kill in the pistol round, all of them headshots. Glorious work for him.
The game was tight throughout, and after 28 rounds, the score was tied. But Optic Gaming closed out the final 2 rounds for a close 16-14 victory. So heading into day 3 semi-final round, G2 with the number 1 seed will take on the 4th seeded Selfless. The Ninjas in Pajamas with the 2nd seed will battle 3rd seeded Optic Gaming. Stay tuned for an all-access feature on G2 Esports.